Hello all, welcome to Paritranaya. In this video, we will be discussing about the features of parliamentary government, a very important topic from the exam point of view. So the features are like this. First, we have the feature called as nominal and real executives. So when it comes to any parliamentary government, there will be having both nominal as well as real executives. So nominal and real executives. So in India, we have parliamentary government. So we have a nominal executive and we have a real executive. So who is a nominal executive? P. President is the nominal executive. So he is de jure. De jure means nominal. De jure means nominal. So he is also head of the state. So President of India is called as head of the state. Next, who is the real executive? Prime Minister. Prime Minister is the real executive. Real executive de facto. Okay, de jure means nominal, de facto means real. So Prime Minister is head of government. So very often we get confused between head of state and head of government. So here we need to remember head of state is president, head of government is prime minister. Head of government is prime minister. Next, another important feature of parliamentary government is majority party rule. In parliamentary form of government, always the rule will be by the majority party. So who will be the prime minister in parliamentary government? So prime minister will be the candidate who is the leader of the majority party. Leader of the majority party. So for example, let us assume BJP and Congress. So for time being, let us assume that we have only two parties in power, only two parties. So BJP has, let us assume 300 seats in Lok Sabha and Congress has got 245 seats. Okay. So out of totally 545 seats. Out of 545 seats in Lok Sabha, let us assume BJP has got 300 and Congress has got 245. In order to form the government, what strength is required? We require just 273. So it means BJP is eligible to form the government. So who will become prime minister? Leader of the majority party. So which is the majority party here? BJP is the majority party. So leader of the majority party will become prime minister. Okay, prime minister. But formally we require appointment. So who will appoint prime minister? Prime minister is appointed by president. Prime minister is appointed by president, but whether president can appoint anyone? No, he does not have that choice. He has to appoint the leader of the majority party. And in this example, the leader of the majority party comes from BJP. Okay. Next, ministers. Now, when we look at the central government, we have Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. Council of Ministers. So, Council of Ministers are headed by Prime Minister. So, Council of Ministers consists of somewhere around 50 to 60 ministers and they are headed by Prime Minister. Okay, Prime Minister. So, Prime Minister is appointed by President. Who appoints the ministers? So, ministers are also appointed by President. Ministers are also appointed by President. But can President appoint any person as a minister? No. President has to appoint the minister who have been advised by Prime Minister. So whosoever's name Prime Minister takes and asks the President to appoint him as a minister, that person has to be appointed as a minister by President. Okay. So this is the second feature, that is majority party rule. Majority party rule. This is a feature of parliamentary government. Next, collective responsibility. Another very important feature of parliamentary government. So Article 75 of the Constitution, what does it say? It says that ministers collectively responsible. Parliament in general and Lok Sabha in particular. Parliament in general and Lok Sabha in particular. So what does it mean? So we know that Council of Ministers plus Prime Minister is the central executive. Okay, is the central executive. Now, Council of Ministers, it consists of many ministers. Let us assume Home Minister, Education Minister, Defense Minister. Okay, just I took only examples of three ministers: Home Minister, Education Minister and Defense Minister. We have totally close to 52 ministries. Now suppose some mistake has been committed by Home Ministry or Home Minister. So at that time, Education Minister and Defense Minister, they cannot say that, they cannot escape saying that it is not our fault, it is a mistake of Home Ministry, because here as per the Article 75, ministers collectively responsible. It means if one person has committed the mistake, then it is equivalent to that the entire Council of Ministers have committed the mistake. Okay, that's why it is called as collective responsibility. Now suppose someone has committed the mistake and the Lok Sabha is not satisfied with the performance of the ministry, then what it can do? Lok Sabha can remove the council of ministers. Lok Sabha can remove the council of ministers. It can remove the government by passing no confidence motion. So what do we understand by removal of government? Removal of government is nothing but the council of ministers headed by prime minister. So we'll remove these members. That removal procedure is called as removing is called as fall of government. Okay, fall of government. So Lok Sabha can remove council of ministers headed by prime minister by passing no confidence motion. So when it can pass no confidence motion, Lok Sabha, when Lok Sabha is not happy or not satisfied with the performance of council of ministers. Next, swim and sink together. So what does it mean? Means the council of ministers, they will stay together, and if at all they need to fall, then they will fall together. So this is again an important feature of parliamentary government. Next, another very important feature of parliamentary government is political homogeneity. So ministers generally they belong to same party. Okay, same party. Sometimes they may belong to different party as well. For example, now as we took the example of BJP and Congress. Now BJP has got 300 seats, Congress has got 245 seats. So now BJP will form the government. So all the 52 ministers will come from BJP. So all the 52 members will be having the same ideology. That's why political homogeneity, because all of them, they have the same political ideology, because generally they belong to the same party. But sometimes if none of the parties are able to form the government on their own, for example, BJP, Congress, let us consider one more party, JDS. Okay, one more party. Let us assume, so BJP has got not 300, it has got just 250. So 50 seats are won by JDS. Now none of the parties can form the government, BJP, Congress or JDS, because to form a government we require minimum of 273 members. So none of them can form a government. Now based on understanding they can form a government. So let us assume BJP and Congress and JDS together they will form a government. If they form a government, 250 plus 50 is 300. Okay, so it crosses the mark required, that is 273, they can form the government. But when they form a government, now all the ministers, they do not belong to the same political party. Few of them may belong to BJP and few of them might belong to JDS. Okay, JDS. So in coalition, so this is called as coalition government, coalition between BJP and JDS. So they are bound by consensus. Means, so all have to agree to whatever the decisions that are being taken collectively. Okay, So again, this is political homogeneity. Why political homogeneity? Because ministers generally they belong to same party. Even if they do not belong to the same party, if a coalition government has been formed, they are bound by consensus. So all of them has to accept the collective decision that have been taken. Next, double membership. Again, it's a feature of parliamentary government. What is double membership? So a member can be both legislature as well as executive. So what does it mean? Now we have seen that a Lok Sabha MP can be a minister. Similarly, a Rajya Sabha MP can be a minister. So what does it mean? It means that a person who is a legislature. So here Lok Sabha MP is a legislature. He belongs to legislature. Rajya Sabha MP also belongs to legislature. Despite that, they can be ministers as well. When they become ministers, they will become part of executive. It means a same person can be part of both legislature as well as executive. So double membership again is an important feature of parliamentary government. Next, in case of parliamentary government, we have leadership of prime minister. Okay. In case of presidential form of government, the leadership will be by president. But here, in case of parliamentary form of government, so leadership will be of prime minister. So prime minister will be the leader of council of ministers. Prime minister will be the leader of parliament. Prime minister will be the leader of party in power. For example, BJP or Congress party. Okay. So party in power. So leadership of prime minister indicates he is a leader of council of ministers, leader of parliament, leader of party in power. Next, another important feature, dissolution of lower house. So we have seen about lower house and upper house. So lower house is Lok Sabha upper house is Rajya Sabha. So in India, we know that Lok Sabha can be dissolved, Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved because it's a permanent house. But who can dissolve Lok Sabha? Who has this power to dissolve Lok Sabha? So Lok Sabha can be dissolved by President of India. So President of India can dissolve Lok Sabha. So once the Lok Sabha is dissolved, then we have to go for an election. So whether President has the right to dissolve at any time? No. President cannot dissolve on his own will. President has to dissolve only on the recommendation of Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. Only when the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister, they write a letter and hand it over to President saying that you please dissolve the Lok Sabha, then President can dissolve it. Otherwise, President does not have the right to dissolve the Lok Sabha. There are few exceptions. So what are those exceptions? We shall see later on. But in general, President will dissolve the Lok Sabha with the recommendation of the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. Next, this indicates executive enjoys the right to dissolve a legislature. So it is only possible in parliamentary system. So what is executive here? When I say Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister, they will recommend the President to dissolve the Lok Sabha. It means executive is doing this thing. What it is doing? It is dissolving the legislature. That is Lok Sabha. So executive dissolving the legislature is a feature of parliamentary government. Another very important feature of parliamentary government. Next, another very important feature of parliamentary government is secrecy. Okay. So oath of secrecy to ministers. So when President appoints few of them as ministers, then he'll administer an oath. Oath of secrecy means whatever the work we are doing here, we will not reveal it to outsiders. Okay. So why this oath is required? In order to ensure the smooth administration of the country, we require this oath. So this oath of secrecy, which is administered to the ministers by the President, again, it's a very important feature of parliamentary government. So I hope you understood the features of parliamentary government. If at all you understood, then answer these questions through comment box. Okay. So the first question is, in India, a person can be either a member of legislature or executive, but not both. So either answer in terms of true and false in the comment box. In India, Prime Minister is the head of the state. Again, true or false kind of question. Double membership feature of the parliamentary government means a person can be both MLA and MP at the same time. So again, true or false type of question. Fourth, in India, President dissolves the Lok Sabha. True or false? Okay. So answer these questions with the help of the comment box. So in this video, we have discussed about the features of the parliamentary government. In the subsequent videos, we will be discussing the other important topics of polity. For all our further updates, subscribe to our channel and hit on the bell icon. Thank you.